Okay, alright, it's sealed time. Hopefully the camera doesn't freeze this time, but if it does, we'll catch it. And yeah, we got a new pack to open up, so let's go ahead and do that thing. Oh, we got two new packs, actually. Two Dusk Road packs, even. I'm actually surprised that we're starting Dusk Road, but we got a second Legendary, so that's pretty cool. Straight away, let's look at the good stuff first. Helpful Doorbot's not the good stuff. Actually, there's no Skycrag help here at all, except for Stampede Driver, which kind of helps out with dinosaurs if I end up doing dinosaurs. Frenzied Omnivore allows us to splash a little time if we want to do that. Huh. That is an extremely strong card. And it's in entirely the wrong colors for what I want to do. But if I wanted to try to make a Stonescar shift, we do have Sleeping Drought here, we have Flashy Duelist. We could do a complete color shift and maybe come out ahead. I'll have to take a look. Alright, Dusk Road time. Prickly Renardin, Headsman's Axe. So there's some Shadow here as well. Affliction's okay. Wild Rider and Freewing Glider and Skycrag Huntsman. So again, not a lot of help for Skycrag, which is a bit of a disappointment. Twilight Hunt on the time side. So this probably bears some reworking of like the entire like pool. Let's go ahead and look at our deck. Like I don't think we got any help for our current pool, and we want our deck to be better in general. So trying to find better options should be pretty cool. Okay, so I see no new 2-drops in red, which is pretty disappointing because we really wanted those for basically the aggressive side. Crownwatch Legionnaire and Spirit Blade Stalker are new. Another Emerald Waystone doesn't really do anything. Valkyrie Arcanist doesn't do anything. None of those are green cards that I particularly want. On blue, we have more Unseals, Sinister Opportunist, Wild Rider, Stampede Driver, which is an okay card, and Freewing Glider, which is also an okay card. And then on, we've also got some shadow cards now. We have Affliction, Brash Shorthorn, Flashy Duelist, Prickly Grenadin, Maimed Watchwing, Sleeping Drought. I've got Sorrow Shroud and Devastating Setback. I have Headsman's Axe and Extinguish. I have Shadowland's Tyrant and Repulsive Gorger. Like, Shadow's actually looking like a pretty reasonable setup. But on the other hand, we also have some really, really good Skycrag drops. 2 Clan Heroes, the Champion of Fury, the Mortar here. Those are all really, really solid. So this is going to get tough. I'm seeing some good Xenon, Blister Sting, and Blood Call Invocation. I didn't look at my time in general, but we had a decent amount of time earlier, and we were trying to look at some praxis options for Scour Stone and Intriguing Ancient. Did we actually get anything to help that? We have Frenzied Omnivorp for dinosaurs. We have Ageless Sentinel, which does help the Sentinel Bond plan. And we have Disjunction and Twilight Hunt, and of course the Trailmaker and Amber Acolyte, which would allow us to splash like 3 colors again. But I'm still not in 2 colors, I don't think. I think I have a reasonably strong amount of stuff, and I'm not sure where I want to put that stuff. This is actually really, really tricky. Alright, camera's still doing all the things. Did I get anything good in my pack? I got a Shadowlands Tyrant. Shadowlands Tyrant is a very strong card. So this is gonna be like a whole process. I am totally not sure what's best here. We could stick with the current plan, which is not a bad plan. Like, this is actually pretty good. We have some very good cards together. Most everything in this hand is pretty good. I've got access to a ton of good red cards. Ancient Defenses, Magma Javelin, Mortar, Jotun Cyclops, and Frostkin. One thing I could do is I could cut the blue just a little bit to, like, move away from, say, Jotun Cyclops. And that would maybe allow me to, like, push into some other colors. We could even do 5-color good stuff. Scrap Hound's been pretty underwhelming, so I'm not really sure that I want that card in if I'm not seeing any more Grenadin. Like, we've seen no new Grenadin today, so as far as, like, red stuff goes, there's not really a lot of help. I have a Stonescar Banner, which I can consider. I have Blood Call Invocation and Blister Sting Wasp, which are both reasonable cards that we could be playing around with. We have some dinosaur-focused type stuff. We could do Frenzied Omnivore, Sandspit, or Spiketail. And then, like, we have the Twilight Hunt, which is a big dinosaur card. Lunar Magus, which is a little bit more Nightfall. Talir's Intervention, which is just crazy good for Explorer Sentinels. Like, man, I love my time cards. I really do. And I now have enough dinosaurs to do Fishing Dinoc, which would be kind of neat. I'm still not in love with it. It's just a little slow and a little iffy, and I'm not really getting anything out of it except for some bigger cards. And we've got bigger cards in fire, so I think I leave the yellow alone, although this time around we did still get some very good yellow cards, so fairly tempting. Okay, so let's look at Shadow here. I'm going to throw in our good Shadow cards, and we're going to look at what that looks like alongside what we've currently got. We have Affliction, Shorthorn, which is a good aggressive card. Sabotage, Arachnophobia is pretty terrible. It's a curse, which if we care about curses is nice. Setback, which is crazy good. Sleeping Drought, Flashy Duelist. Ravenous Thornbeast is okay, nothing special. Sorrow Shroud is fine. I mean, a 3/3 for 3 is always good. That's your bread and butter unit. Cripple, Extinguish, Merciless Stranger, Shadowlands Tyrant. I don't think I want Merciless Stranger, even with a Rakano Stranger in the pack. Repulsive Gorger, and then we have some dinosaurs here like Finback Comanut, which probably wouldn't make the list. And then in addition, we have Blister Sting Wasp, which I don't care about. We have Stonescar Banner, which I do. And we have Common Cause, which I'm not wild about. So looking at that, the things to cut would be mostly our green cards. We'd have to ditch Argenport Soldier, Copperhall Porters, and Crackshot Fugitive, as well as Strength of Many. None of which are cards that I'm super attached to. Like, there's not actually any green here that I really want. So let's see if we can actually splash in our other legendary. That doesn't give us as much of a, like, aggressive route, but I do have Flashy Duelist and Brash Shorthorn to fill those slots a little bit and keep me somewhat aggressive, as well as, like, potentially some Strangers, some other 2-drops. Let's take a look here, see if there's anything new that we can use. Sabotage, Grenemender, Arachnophobia, not really on the list. Wild Rider could come in blue, which is a decent Yeti, nothing too great. We've got the Unseals, which are not 2-drops. We have Weather the Storm, which is also not a 2-drop. Electropy. And as far as green cards go, like, I like Spirit Blade Stalker, but it's not really what I'm looking for here. We're not looking to be life gainers. We're trying to actually deal damage so we can get out Syndox faster. 2 helpful Doorbots, which would help Scrap Hound. But no actual Grenadin to help Scrap Hound, so probably nothing I'm particularly attached to. We could bring the Twin Barrel in. I love Twin Barrel on Shadowlands Tyrant. I really do. And it's also pretty good on Mistveil Drake or Repulsive Gorger or any number of other silly things. So maybe we do that. Alright, Skycrate Huntsman's not really a card. Nothing new in red. Blue's got a lot of considerations that might go better with shadow decks, like Yeti Spy, which is a fairly aggressive card that I could put in. Yeah, that'd help fill the fact that we're missing that green early game now. Jotun Cyclops, still pretty good. Stampede Driver, that one's really tricky. I don't know. Swindle, that one's really tricky. I don't know. They're both options. Freewing Glider is an option. Cartographer and Wild Rider probably don't make the cut. Okay. Let's fiddle around with this. I think this is interesting. Shadow-wise, I've got a Stonescar Banner, right? I've got an Elysian Banner, which I don't need. I've got Common Causes, which I really don't think I need. That's just not enough of anything. We have some dinosaurs. No, definitely no Common Causes. But I think the double legendary plan is correct here. Okay, so Sabo, I'm still not a huge fan of Sabo. Affliction's okay. Probably cut Affliction immediately. I'm just not that into it. Sleeping Drought is reasonably powerful, especially on cards like Shadowlands Tyrant, Mistveil Drake. Mistveil Drake is an insane Sleeping Drought target. Repulsive Gorger, Stampede Driver, Jotun Cyclops, Geral's Frostkin, Ruin Crawler Yeti, Ravenous Thornbeast, Nocturnal Observer, Clan Hero. The Clan Heroes aren't that great because you only get the sword back, basically. Still, that's a pretty good hit rate on Sleeping Drought. I think that's probably worth playing. We kind of want to go a little bit pushy towards Shadow because we have so much like straight up good stuff in that area. I think I want to keep Rakano Stranger, and let's check and see if there are any other strangers here. Merciless is the only one, so yeah, we'll keep Rakano Stranger because that allows us to fix a little bit, and it just gives me another 2-drop, which I'm going to be a little short on now that I've cut the green. Yeah, this was a really interesting pack because it's mostly a lateral move. Like we are improving our late game, but we're decreasing our early game, and I'm not sure if that's such a good idea. Okay, Prickly Grenadin cares about sacrifice outlets. I do have some sacrifice outlets. I have 2, in fact. Repulsive Gorger and Ravenous Thornbeast, but Thornbeast is most likely to get played as a regular 3-cost 3/3. I should really expect him to be a regular 3-cost 3/3. Sorrow's Shroud is not in. Freewing Glider is probably not in. And I'm going to need some Shadow Sigils here to go back up to 15 power, so let's go ahead and add those in now. In fact, why don't we do an add power? You say I need 5, 5, and 6. How much power is this right now? 21? That's way too much. 18, that's a little closer to where I want to be at. Okay. So, Mortar, Morningstar, Magma Javelin, all probably stay in. I am a little bit glutted on 4s. I'm probably going to cut Freewing Glider. Probably going to cut Cripple. Neither of those cards are particularly appealing to me. We're still at 18 power, so 6 more cards. I think I like 18 power. That's where I want to be. Sleeping Drought is definitely in. Flashy Duelist and most of our early game is in. Yeti Spy is probably in just because I want to have some 1-drops. I'm still not a huge fan of Sabotage and Sealed. And it's another card that just doesn't influence the board here, so I'm probably into getting that cut out. Swindle is a bit of an investment, and probably too deep of one. So that's a little bit closer. Gorger is my trickiest 7, and also not as good as Mistveil Drake. Generally, when you see like a super bomb 7, and then you have another card that's just like, eh, you might want to cut the card that's eh, just because like you just want to draw this 7 bomb, and like this is the thing that actually matters at 7. If you're waiting to draw a Repulsive Gorger, then that's not really a card that matters to you. Stampede Driver can give Shadowlands Tyrant Overwhelm, which is pretty cool. It can give +1/+1, which is pretty cool. It can give... Do we have dinosaurs? If I have no dinosaurs, I think I just ditch him. Yeah, there's not enough here to really justify a Stampede Driver. So that's 47 out of 45. Now, Jotun Cyclops was pretty underwhelming last round. I really like him, but he's not very good in 3-color, and our blue is more of a splash than other colors. So I think if I cut that in the Yeti Spy, then I feel pretty good about our blue, just because our blue is a little bit lighter. Now we don't have to go quite so heavy on it. That way we can just... 5, 4, and 4 is the current count. 5, 4, and 4 is where it stays. I'm pretty happy with that result. Shadowlands Tyrant is a card that I really want to fix for better, but I'm probably not too hung up about it if I don't get to fix for it quite as well. Let's cut 1 Primal and add 1 Shadow. And then, like, Champion of Fury is the only 2 we need, whereas we have Flashy Duelist at 2, so that is correct as far as the power goes. Okay, this didn't actually turn out as bad as I thought. I figured it was going to be really, really hard to deal with, but overall I'm actually pretty happy with where it ended up, so... Let's go ahead and do this. Charchain Flail looks hard for double red. Ah, but Charchain Flail is your late game finisher. It's not so much your early game solution thing. Like, definitely it can be used as that, but I'm not too bothered if a Charchain Flail is not usable until late. Triple Shadow, double Primal, and double Fire. I think we're only single Primal. We've ditched all of the double Primal. Cobalt, Fire Sigil, Ancient Defenses, Mortar. We're going to redraw here. And overall, not too bad. We have a Champion of Fury that's not getting played, and that's a bit of a bummer. But everything else looks pretty good. I do need to find some blue so I can play basically all of my blue cards. I have an Extinguish at 4, a Waystone at 4. I need an early unit, which is sort of the big problem with this deck at the moment. I do have 2 Granite Waystones. Maybe we need to throw that Scrap Hound back in. Okay.
We stand strong.
Well, today is apparently a Stranger Day. It's not ideal to kill any of these strangers, so we're probably not going to. Especially not if we have better targets. So I'm going to play Granite Waystone here. Do I want to Extinguish or Ancient Defenses? Extinguish would actually get me a chance to draw more cards, which might be useful. I think I'm okay, though, because I know what I'm playing next turn, which is Extinguish and Grenadin, so we're fine. The main problem here is that I've taken an awful lot of damage without actually doing anything. Oh yeah, I'm very glad that I saved the Extinguish. So, Granite Waystone here. We're going to extinguish the Streetwise Informant. Play a Grenadin, and I've got some blue here to play Champion of Fury and still Mortar, which is really nice. No blocks there. That's unfortunate, but not the end of the world. We're just going to play a Cobalt Waystone, and I'm going to go Rakano Stranger, Champion of Fury. I want to throw the Grenadin out as well. I think that's probably clever. We lost our Aegis, so Mistveil Drake isn't getting a lot of stuff done here. Yeah, let's just throw the Grenadin as well. That way we can trade evenly across the board. Put down a 3/3 Aegis and then start mortaring anything that looks at us funny. Seems like the right way to go about things. Assistant Automaton bounces a 2/2. Not a big deal there. Might as well play the Mistveil Drake. We're not getting a lot better results out of it. Okay, so I have 3, 4, 5, and 2 here. I have a mortar for a 2/2. Kind of in a rough spot as far as like preventing damage goes, but we're not doing too bad. I get to attack for 3 every turn. I've got jump kick and mortar. Probably just gonna mortar that. No point in getting stalled on the ground here. That does leave us a little bit behind on the ground, because now I have to just sort of sit tight with the Mistveil Drake for a little bit. Use Sleeping Draught, get like, you know, better trades if I can. But there's a lot to work with here. Interesting. Now, is that a chump block situation or is that an all block situation? If I block with everything, I get to bring one of them back, and I don't have to deal with Gilded Glaive anymore. I think I'm kind of into that. It's not a great route, but he's also got 6 here, so I could potentially save a unit, but that seems very unlikely to be good. Twin Barrel's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and put it on that. If I attack for 6 here... I don't even know if I should have Twin Barreled here, because there's obviously some potential for like a buff of some kind to knock us out of the game. Alright, I hate it. It's not the absolute end of the world, but it's probably pretty bad for me. Especially if I draw nothing here. Thrall's Frostkin's perfect.
You aren't welcome here.
Let's get our 6 in. I think it's best to take the 6 and block a 2/2. Oh, well, that's just unfortunate then. But we do get a Nightfall draw to help make up the difference. Okay, that's beautiful. 5. Found a Magma Javelin, not bad. Sindok costs 0. I think he's got me, though. Unless he really screws it up. Chakram should do it. Did he really screw it up? No, he's got the answer. Yeah, just couldn't control enough of the board. If I had pushed for the 6 in the air, then I would have gotten enough for a lethal, I think. But yeah, that's a little tricky. I'm still considering Swindle. Card advantage is really useful. We don't have any at the moment. Our deck was aggressive, and now it is not. This is really interesting. This is every big bomb plus 4 power. I feel like that's a hard thing not to keep because the influence is so good. Like, all we need to do is just find a unit. Preferably a 1 or 2 drop. That should help. Frostkin's not miserable. We do need to build some shadow here. I'm gonna hit 5, no problem.
Move over, I'll handle this.
Champion of Fury's great. That gives me some aggression to work with. Okay, he's looking at cards, but he doesn't have anything yet. This looks like a little bit of Combrei plus Shadow, like sort of aggressive style. Okay, Rebuke's pretty terrible here, honestly. Some minor debuff to my 2/2. I don't need to play Frostkin here. I certainly can.
You aren't welcome here.
And I think I will, since that gives us a leg up. No gunslingers currently. 5 damage rushing in. That might enable Sindok.
Watch me. The end.
Okay. Interesting. Well, that's definitely a Tyrant turn. I could have attacked first to see if I could get like a little bit going, but I feel like killing the Flashy Duelist and killing everything else is pretty good as far as results go. Okay. We okay with attacking for 6 here, or do we want to stay put? It's an interesting question. I'm gonna make a 5/5. If I attack here, I trade for 2 of his units. Yeah, I'm pretty into that. We get the 2/4 flyer, and we get the 3/4. Or he doesn't do anything, and I get a free Sindok. I'm very, very good with that. Let's do it.
Hold them off.
Okay, Crown Watch Legionnaire gives him a little bit of something to work with. I think at this point I just attack for 7. I could attack for 5 as well. If we can get rid of like the things that are threatening the Tyrant, like that's a pretty big deal. But I've got 3 unanswerable threats, so I think I'm pretty happy right now. Hideout Pistol kills only Frostkin. Twin Barrel up. Kill the 5/4, I think. Yeah, that's pretty outrageous. Should have attacked with a 5/5 as well, but, you know, lethals. Alright, well, good to see the deck can still function. The Twin Barrel's still a little ambitious. I'm not sure about it. I think I still like it, but Yeti Spy might be the better choice. Okay, I'm still having a little bit of difficulty getting some shadow together for certain cards. Charchain Flail can push a little bit. I've got the Joral's Frostkin.
The throne awaits.
We'll have some available options. But not being able to play Flashy Duelist on 2 sucks. Alright, that's a pretty clear Charchain Flail, I'd say. Card's just going to annoy me all day otherwise. Ooh. Interesting. I think we still flail here. So blue here gets me a fully charged Fury.
I won't miss.
I'm not in love with it. Shadow would get me Flashy Duelist, which I also don't want. I think we just Frostkin here.
You aren't welcome here.
Stun the 1/2 so that it doesn't fly over. Let the 4/3 do what it likes.
Watch this.
Okay, Aerial Ace is a card. Probably attack for 3 here. Extinguish. Play a Primal. End my turn. He's got a 2/3 flyer, which is kind of an issue.
As I do.
He's buffing the non-2/3 flyer, which is definitely not an issue.
Tell me, what do you see?
And that card's absolutely outrageous, so we gotta deal with that. Let's do the swing here. Hoof Slash gets me overwhelm damage, which I am so very into, but we've got this freaking owl coming up. What a ridiculous legendary for him to have. That is a lot of flyers.
Take wing, my friend.
Probably too many flyers to overcome, unless we draw a flyer of our own. In which case we'll be absolutely fine. Jump kick. 2 damage over. Flashy Duelist gives us something. Granite Waystone gives us something. We're pushing for a little more damage on the ground than he is in the air. But he does have the Snowball, so clearing the Flashy Duelist is no problem at all. Attack for 4 here. Oh, we got the Aerial Ace. Maybe. He's got a trick for it, then I think we're just dead, right? Even if he's saving the trick, I think we're probably dead. is not going to be a pleasant evening out. Kothan is just too many flyers and too small a package.
We pass judgment.
Onward to glory!
Yeah, that about seals it. Whew. I'm not saying that deck's unbeatable, but he certainly had the ways to seal the game up. Good grief. All right. Redraw here. Char Chain, Jump Kick, Extinguish. There's a little bit to play with here, but the hand's overall kind of weak. I'm still suffering from just a deficit of units at 2, which is causing a lot of problems. Meccano Stranger enables Granite Waystone early, which is nice.
You're worth more dead than alive.
Attack for 2. Play Grenadin. Leave the Char Chain Flail alone, because why would we do that?
Through the shadows.
Okay, I think Lethrai Nightblade is more dangerous than Cabal Slasher. In fact, I'm relatively sure of it. However, I could make a 5/5 here and push, and that's another option that would actually do pretty well for me. Yeah, I think it's correct to do that. Save the Char Chain Flail. We have Extinguish as an option. We have to figure out which of these things is going to get a weapon, and if we can kill that thing when it gets the weapon, that's our best bet. And if it doesn't get a weapon, then Char Chain Flail is probably the right call. Or we could just continue to play units, which is also a good call. Attack for 5 here. I was kind of hoping for an Ironclad Oath there, but
A rare sight.
wouldn't necessarily have been good. Exhaust. A Brash Shorthorn. Pretty good card if we had Shadow, but we need Shadow, so we're just going to discard it. Alright, Devour is life gain, which we really do not care about in terms of Cabal Slasher. Like, if he gets his Cabal Slasher up to an absolutely atrocious amount, we just block it. He's got, like, some sort of cool lifesteal thing going on.
Move over. I'll handle this.
That's an option, I guess. Okay. So I'd say this is either Char Chain Flail or Extinguish. And we do have Extinguish now. Good, good, good. I think I like Extinguish the most. Let's do the draw discard here. Gonna discard a fire for the Shadow. Attack for 5, see if we get that double block. That allows us to jump kick and kill both units. Gosh, jump kick's a good card sometimes.